I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to see what this video is going to be about. But this is the Zombie Tarot, which I picked up. But let me just say, if you've watched my channel very long, it probably comes as no surprise to you that I am a huge zombie fanatic. A lot of my literature degree work was in monster theory, zombies, not zombies in the sense of voodoos, but zombie in the sense of the horror. What we think of as zombies in America is a very American monster. It's actually one of the few, if only, truly like American monster. And the classic scenes of being in shopping malls. So we have, you know, zombies being that ultimate discussion on consumerism to the degree of, you know, eating oneself and each other. That sort of idea is a very American one. It's a very interesting conversation about capitalism at its most destructive nature. Here we can see the zombie survival guide, which no home should be without. Here, and we're going to go over these because, you know, if I'm going to be doing this, I want to give you information. I've given you information about not eating food for, you know, from fairies and things such as this. Don't fall asleep under trees, these kinds of ideas. So I'm all about giving you tools for survival. So here are the top 10 lessons for surviving a zombie attack. Organize before they rise. They feel no fear. Why should you? Number 3, use your head and cut off theirs. Number 4, blades don't need reloading. That's a very important thing. Guns are fantastic, but for the most part, you better get comfortable with a blade. You don't need to search down bullets and all these other kinds of things, and you don't need to, you know, you still need to hit them in the head, but hey, go for something sharp. Ideal protection, tight clothes, short hair. You do not want to have gorgeous long locks. First thing I will do in the case of a zombie apocalypse is cut off my hair because I don't want my hair getting grabbed by zombies or horrible human beings who can't keep their humanity in the apocalypse. So cut your hair off, ladies, and or Bart. Get up the staircase, then destroy it. Don't leave a way up, people. If you run up the stairs, get those stairs destroyed so they can't climb up there and get you. Get out of the car and get onto the bike. Definitely. Cars are never good. Have you not seen all of the road zombies where you can see the roads just covered in gridlocked cars? No, get on a bike. It's quiet. You can get in small spaces. You can get off the road. Keep moving. Keep low. Keep quiet. Keep alert. Very good, number 8. Number 9, no place is safe. It's only safer. And number 10, the zombies may be gone, but the threat lives on. So there you go. I adore this book. This is also the author of World War Z, which is a fantastic zombie book. The movie was okay. I was so excited about the movie that I couldn't help but be disappointed with it. But the book is amazing and is by this Max Brooks as well. Love these. Katie has a print of this. We are set in case of a zombie attack. Now the funny thing is that Katie actually well, I'll talk about that today. Yes, so we are set in case and have a plan in case of a zombie attack. Other books that I love that are zombie books, these are mostly on my Kindle. So we have Alison Huda's Trapped. I love that. White Trash Zombies, all of the White Trash Zombie books I absolutely love. My Life as a White Trash Zombie is an amazing book. It's smart, funny, amazing. Love it. iZombie, I have here. What else? Evolution Infection. Sadie Walker's Stranded. That's the second one to Alison Huda's Trapped. Is amazing. I highly recommend it. World War Z I talked about. These are books that I don't have down here. But I do love zombie novels. I really like most post-apocalyptic novels. I like seeing or thinking about how people keep or don't keep their humanity very quickly in the case of a post-apocalyptic area or effect going on. Look, I picked this up for $2.99 we have a local used video store I love to go to, and I waited forever to get a hold of this copy used because everybody wants to keep it. Shaun of the Dead is one of my favorite zombie movies because it is hilarious, it is gross, but it is also so very, very smart. I mean, it is an amazing discussion on our humanity, about sleepwalking through life, about consumerism. You know, he goes through his first day not even really sure that there are zombies because nobody looks all that much different as they kind of sleepwalk through their lives. Just an amazing discussion. This is a very smart movie. I love actually all of the movies by... I'm so bad with names. These two guys do Paul, which I absolutely love. It's an alien movie. And then they did Shaun of the Dead. They did Hot Fuzz, and they did something about like Journey to the End of the World or the end of something. The end of, I don't know. That one wasn't my favorite, but I love Paul. Paul and this one are my favorite, Shaun of the Dead and Paul. But this is a fantastic zombie novel movie, again, because it is so smart on top of being everything else. So yes, if you have not noticed, I am quite a zombie slash post-apocalyptic novel movie watcher. And so I knew it was only a matter of time before I got this. The reason I haven't until now is because I really do see it as purely collective. But on the other hand, I've actually heard that this reads amazingly well. You can see I haven't even opened it. I picked it up for $12. I think you can get it around $12 in Amazon. I picked it up with a coupon and got it for about $12. And so I was like, you know what? I always said if it came back, because I had saw it for a couple times at Barnes and Nobles, and I think I saw it once on Books A Million, and I went back to get it and it was gone. And I said to myself, if I see it back there at one of those places, I'm going to snag it. And I did, and I had a coupon. So I was like, 12 bucks, I just can't resist. And again, I've heard it actually reads quite amazingly, so we'll see about that. I'm just treating it as purely a treat for me. The box is really nice. It's a nice, solid box that, you know, look. Prediction slash protection. We have all these bullets. Let's see, for use in surviving the undead uprising. So I figure, right, that if I have this and my zombie tarot, I should be pretty set for surviving the zombie apocalypse. So let's see what it says here. Insight and ammunition for surviving the undead uprising. Contains 78 cards, a mystical prediction oracle. Yeah, so it's a great, here, look at this at the side. In the event of a zombie attack, get to a secure location, open this box, and consult the zombie tarot. This fully functional 78 card tarot deck offers valuable advice of love, life, love, family, friendship, automatic firearms, premature burials, cannibalistic children, and more. The enclosed instruction book shows how to interpret all 78 cards and provides helpful tips on giving a reading. I mean, it's just awesome. They did a fantastic job with the packaging. Yeah, of course, that's the first time I've seen that. Here we have look at the guidebook. I mean, it's a small book, but it has got that aged, dirty look like this has been used. Look, they even have, it's almost like it's an older, because you can see, it's like a 50s, 60s kind of look. And we have Under Armour, survival lessons, get your very own trained zombie. Look at these zombie guns. Can you see these? Oh my gosh. Get rid of these horrid dead spots, rot away. So, yes. So here we have understanding the suits. This deck has cups, wands, swords, and hazards instead of pentacles. They represent material wealth, money, prosperity, and property. So it functions as the pentacles. And then it breaks it down for the numbers, which I always like when decks do that. How to conduct a reading. We have the beginner and the broken heart, the gravestone, and the eyeball readings. We'll definitely have to try some of those. And the severed head, even more importantly. And then it goes into the major, but I mean, it's gorgeous. It feels fantastic because this is a cheap deck. I mean, even full price retail for this is $17, $16.95. So that's a relatively cheap deck. Like I said, I know you can pick this up generally around $12. But look, I mean, they did such an amazing job despite this being a fairly, a cheaper deck. So, they go through obviously the major arcana and then the minor arcana, which has a picture of the card, the name, your keywords, and then a paragraph. And that looks like to be about the same for all of them. So, it's not like it's a ton of information, but it is so well done. I mean, these coupons at the back just, I can't even hardly stand it. I want to cut them out and hang them up somewhere, but I don't want to damage the book. So that's the instruction book. Well, here, we'll have to read one of them because we have the Fool right here. So that's the box. I told you about the box. I think the box is very well put together. Look. Oh my goodness. Okay. Look at the Fool. He's just, oh. Okay, so here's the backing. We have sort of a fortune teller, a look, that old style fortune teller that you see like in those machines to get your fortune telling told, but it's a zombie, and it's a zombie tarot. It is obviously not reversible. We have hazards, swords, I'm guessing. I'm not sure if these are the symbols for the suits. We'll have to see. But look at the Fool. It's so like 50s, and I'm bad about years. So if I'm completely off about what the year is, happily tell me. But look at how cool it's set up. It's almost like a newspaper. We have the number over here, the Fool, and then we have, it says that it's a major arcana over here. And then of course we have the image. So no, I will not be trimming this because how awesome does that just look? It's just amazing aesthetically. So let's just read what the Fool says, just so you can get a feel for the guidebook. I'm so excited to look at these cards. So I'm assuming the whole deck is going to have this sort of 50s vibe to it. I do love how it says in conducting a reading, double check the locks on your door and then get comfortable. Make sure you're in a safe zone before going to do a reading. It wants to make sure you know. So here we have the Fool, and so you can see there is a sort of, it's not the same color. They're kind of a red and sepia kind of tones image, and we have the number 0, new journey, first steps, and hasty choices. Our hero begins his journey with a spring in his step and a healthy set of blinders, unaware of zombie claws reaching for his feet. You're bound to make plenty of mistakes in your new adventures, but your enthusiasm might be enough to carry you through a bumpy beginning. Try to pay attention to your surroundings. Are those storm clouds on the horizon? So we have a zombie hand coming up. He's kind of strolling blissfully through a cemetery, really not paying attention to things around. Again, sometimes that youthful attitude can get you through, but that's only going to take you so far before a zombie is going to get a hold of you. So there's not a lot of information there, but it is done, it's done so wonderful because it keeps to, let's do the Magician just because that was short. So next we have the Magician, who is obviously a scientist who we hope is attempting to cure the zombie virus strain. So we have the Magician, deception, opportunist, and puppet master. So a little bit different understanding of the Magician. Is the magician working on a zombie cure, or does he have something more sinister in mind? Don't be fooled by the smooth talker's ideas and opportunities. They may be too good to be true. Even when he seems extremely willing to help with your problems, he likely has his own agenda. So this has a little bit of a different spin on the magician, although I think that you can read this as the traditional magician with somebody trying to get the cure for the zombie virus. So it's just in a hall. From what I understand, these stay fairly close to the traditional meanings and can be read that way, but obviously has its own flair. This is a zombie tarot. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of just how the writing is on the book. But this is a great, a little white book, but it is so amazingly done that, yeah, that's awesome. I want to set that out with the card deck for sure. So let's go through the rest of the major arcana. Here we have, look at that. That is stunning. This is the High Priestess. Look at that. Actually, is a beautiful card, I want to say. Mystery, intuition, and secrets. Wow. This is about kind of going into a dream state. Always look to your gut feelings on things. That's actually quite a stunning card. Yep, love it. Here we have the Empress. A feminine force to be reckoned with. Look at that. She is got maternal instincts and high speed. But we do have a zombie child that she has chained, and she is going to protect her child even though she has become a zombie. Here we have the Emperor. So this guy is prepared. He has, he's going to take care of his kid. We got zombie hands, but he's got it boarded up. He's got the gun, which I said, bullets, yeah, shotgun is the way to go for sure. I want a sawed-off shotgun with a pistol grip for my zombie apocalypse, as well as a crossbow. And having an axe backup, I have seen from Allison Hewitt is Trapped, having an axe is also an excellent thing. So I think it's fantastic for the Emperor. Here we have the Hierophant. We have the rescue station giving news updates and getting information about what's going on so that you can keep up to date and have the knowledge that you need. Oh my goodness. These would definitely be blacked on the side. Here we have the Lovers. Oh dear. He's got perfume in his hand because, he is going to have to keep her smelling ripe or ripe better. We also have her with his heart in, because you can see she's taken his heart. So that's quite awesome. There is actually a book, and it was made into a movie as well. I can't believe that's not on my... I also have ones in my Audible account, so I have them spread everywhere. I'll have to try to find it, but it's actually really good. It must be in my Audible, although I don't remember listening to it. But it's actually a romance, and when I first I actually saw that the movie was coming out first, and I thought, oh my gosh, is this the first romance zombie novel or movie? And it ended up being from the book, and the book is like a really short book, but it is really good. The book is better than the movie, as is generally the case. So yes, I love this because of that, although in this case the man was the zombie. Here we have the Chariot, we have the hearse, the zombies everywhere, we got the gun, machine gun, and they are moving. I love how these cards are set up. Here's the Justice card, weighing the mind with the heart. We've got the kind of wig of the old justice people from England that you think about in the, I think they still might even wear them. Here we have the Hermit. She is taking a break, holding up. She's got her chocolates. She is just, you guys carry on moaning and groaning. I'm having a little bit of a step back here. Get yourself to a safe place and take a breather. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune. you know, if you need to practice your knife throwing skills, just strap a zombie on there and let it spin. But again, like you can, you know, all of these, that's very, you know, the Wheel of Fortune. It's all of these, in my opinion, work. You know, she's reading books. She's kind of going internally and just needing to kind of step back from the whole fighting situation. Here we have Strength, a bullet to the brain. Although, again, as we saw from Max Brooks, who is, I will say, like he, in this book, even though this is done, you know, tongue-in-cheek and done for zombies, it's actually very well researched just in terms of survival guide. So it's not, you know, completely out of this. He actually uses very smart things of how you might do these kinds of things. And he says don't go with bullets, but if you are, make sure you hit the brain. And it has Resolute is the name of the bullets that needing to be resolved. Definitely not needing to be in conflict with your internal self. You simply need to be all contained and ready to function, because if you've got, you know, a war between your inner and outer selves, that's going to get you killed. I love it. Here we have the Hanged Man, not a situation you want to be in when there are zombies underneath you, but he's definitely getting a new perspective. Here we have Death, which is not quite so cut and dry, is it now, in the zombie world? It has just different information here. Nearly all cases result from bites. You know, it's got like newspaper clippings about this. The disease is 100% fatal, but life does go on. It's a transformation, and zombie is all about transformation, isn't it? So I think it's awesome. Here we have Temperance, and we do still have the blue and the red and sort of the mixing. We have the female and the male energies being mixed as well, and trying to obviously come up with a solution, but things needing to be in balance. I love it. The Devil is an old style cigarette machine with Vice written on it. We have a man with a cigarette in his hand down here and a zombie lady up here. Yeah, I think that works very well. I just love the look. They went all out, I think, in terms of the artwork. Here we have the Tower. Again, we have a very traditional tower look, but inside we have a lot of chaos going on. So it doesn't look on the outside like things are crumbling, but it gives us this look inside and seeing that, yes, things are disintegrating rapidly. The Star, I mean, look at that. Zombie Slayer, Medal of Honor. That's where you're going to pin your hope on, right? It's all about hope, and it's got the pinning your hope on somebody who is going to get you through. Here we have the Moon. That's quite interesting. I just want to see what they say about the Moon, just because, why not? The Moon, the midnight sun erases the doubts and fears. I love that, the midnight sun. Erases the doubts and fears that cloud the mind and allows the subconscious to explore possibilities through dreams. That little bird flying to freedom may hold the key to your problems. Watch for symbols while you sleep. This is a time to trust your instincts and intuition. So that's pretty cool. Here we have the Sun. So this is sweet success. Obviously, the sun has risen. The rescue team has arrived. You have foiled a takeover by the undead, and they're going to take you to a safer place. So you've kind of conquered. That's what I love, is this is that idea of if you've made it through up here to get picked up, it means you've made it through this building. You've made it through the tower, right? You've made it through the Tower card. It's not exactly the same building, but the idea of you've made it through there to the top, fought your way through, so you're now stronger and ready to move forward. And so that's actually a fantastic depiction of the sun. Oh, I love this. Judgment, oh dear. We have the Tough decision to be made. You're the one with the finger on the button. You understand that your actions determine your path through this crazy world, and you're ready to put that knowledge to good use. You have what it takes to drop the bomb, but you must be willing to accept the consequences of your decisions. So yeah, and you know what? Is it Day by Day Armageddon? They made a mistake of dropping bombs on the zombies, and all that did was made faster, stronger zombies that are highly radiated. So yeah, think twice in the apocalypse before hitting the fire button. That's all I've got to say. Here we have the World card. Lessons learned, the end of the journey. They're in a safe place in a bunker underground. The world might be going up in flames, but the two lovers are safe underground here. Ready to meet the new day and begin the fool's journey all over again. Okay, so those were really, really awesome. I'm going to spread these out. I'm going to zoom back a little bit so we can, you know, I like to see all the aces. There's the Ace of Cups, which does have this sort of skull because it's the brain. You know, here's the head is the cup holding the brain. The wands are symbolized by crossed bones. And we do also, the skull is in a crossfire because you need to hit the, you need to hit the brain at the top of the head in order to cause annihilation of the zombies. We do have page knights, kings, and queens, I will say, as we're seeing that. Swords are two crossed sort of machete swords, very good, handy weapons to have. And then the hazards are shown by the hazard symbol. Let me zoom in a little bit here so you can see these, although they're not perfectly centered. So here we have the aces, which we have the traditional Rider-Waite hold with the hands, holding the head with the skull, holding the, the bone that has been picked clean, holding the knife or the sword, and the hazards is quite interesting because it's just kind of coming up out of the ground. This has become, well, these are zombie hands too, but material things. It's got all the jewelry on it. Really though, what is the material wealth going to do you in the apocalypse? Not a whole lot. So yeah, these are awesome aces. I love this. Here we have sadness, hunger, fear, anguish, hate, envy, love, like where the parts of the brain are that might cause this. Let's see what it says down here. The chief distinguishing feature between man and the lower animals is man's brain. It gives the human being the power to think and to reason and to speak and to create. There is a great deal of difference between the brain of a fish worm and that of it. Then it goes on. So talking about the brain, love it. These are quite awesome. Here, I'll zoom out so you can see. Oh, no, you can't see it. There we go. See, we got to have the perfect picture for Instagram. These things are very important, everyone. Oh, this makes me happy, peoples. Okay, so now let's go back to, we got to start with the swords because you know I love swords. Suit, so I'm really interested to see what they do with the sword suit. So let's zoom back in so you can see this up close and personal. Okay, so here we have obviously the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords. I think I just spit on my zombie cards laughing. Oh my goodness. Decisions. He's blinded. He's got zombies everywhere. You know, he obviously has a decision to be made here. He can't stay in a period of indecision very long because it's going to cost him his life. Here, I wish that was a woman. Just because I love the Two of Swords. I mean, I'm glad when they shake genders up sometimes, but because I love this card, I would like it to be a woman. But, you know, we can't have everything. The Three of Swords. I've seen this before. I mean, that's just awesome. I'm really not going to be able to do anything but laugh through this whole deck because it makes me happy. Here we have the Four of Swords. He's taking a break, but look, you know, he knows he's got to get back out there, but he's got to take a break. If you don't find a safer place to be and to rest, you're just going to get wore down. You're going to make stupid mistakes, and it's going to cost you in the long run. Here we have the Five of Swords. I love this because we have zombies going on all around, right? That should be the conflict, but we have two people, and that always happens, right? It comes down. That's what the zombies are about, right? It really is about how we lose our own humanity when it comes down, push comes to shove, and instead of banding together, we have people that are actually fighting against each other when they should be fighting a common enemy. So I love that. Here we have the Six of Swords. They are boats to me. Yeah, the idea of getting pulled underwater by zombies. Now that one, there's a really good Forest of Hands and Teeth book. Oh yeah, that has some scary ocean zombie scenes. So I'm not too keen on going out into boats. Generally, if you get on a boat, it's going to end up, somebody's going to be infected, and there's no way to go but jump in the water, and then what's in the water but dead zombies walking on the bottom. So yeah, I'm not a fan of boats in the zombie scenario. Here we have the Seven of Swords. Hazard's place at a good advantage because it has to come up one at a time. Although again, according to Max Brooks, once she gets up there, she needs to blow that stairs. Oh, here we have the Eight of Swords. So this is quite interesting, right? He's actually trapped in a sense almost by his humanity. With that, he's kind of trapped here. We've got the rib cage around him. The rib cage is also protecting his heart though. So we have that to me is quite an interesting card. Yeah, I actually really like that. There's a little bit of a variation. Well, let's see what they say, just because we can, people. Lack of action, no-win situation, victimization, all is not lost. The situation doesn't look good, but when zombies are nibbling on your nether regions, it's important to keep your head. Stay focused. Instead of letting the situation overwhelm you, figure out a means for escape. Yeah, it's fantastic. But I really like this image, actually. Here we have the Nine of Swords, which is about paranoia, anxiety. So worry has you in your grip. You can't do anything while you're paranoid. You know, you have to have a healthy dose of fear in the zombie apocalypse world so that you can react appropriately to danger. But when fear or anxiety takes us to an unhealthy place, it is going to get ourselves killed. However, he does have his hands turning into a zombie, so he probably has something to be anxious about. Here we have the Ten of Swords. Somebody looks to be getting disemboweled. You've come to the end of the line, and this certainly isn't the outcome you've hoped for. The Ten of Swords reminds us that sometimes we need to cast old interests aside and start over. If you can't beat them, join them. Here we have the Page of Swords. This is an inquisitive person who always has his nose in the book, but you can rely on him to have mapped out an escape route. Love that. Fantastic. Yeah, don't discount the intellectual in the zombie apocalypse. You need a little bit of both. Here we have the Knight of Swords. Oh, I hope I can remember. There is an amazing video by Joss Whedon, and it was for the presidential elections. And I don't necessarily agree or have any statement about who he was endorsing, but you have to watch the video because it's hilarious. I will try to remember to put a link there. Here we have the Knight of Swords, who is brave. He has a lack of emotion. He is just going to get in there and get shit done. Yes, love it. Here we have the Queen of Swords, intelligent, sharp-tongued, and unscrupulous. If you think you're kicking her out of her double wide, you've got another thing coming. Underneath her hair curlers and terry cloth back throw beats the heart of a true fighter. She represents a woman who may have suffered the loss of a loved one, but she still carries on. She's a little tougher, a little wiser, and definitely ready for the next wave of terror. That's an excellent description of the Queen of Swords. Oh my gosh, love it. Here we have the King of Swords. Love him, although I would like him not to be an old guy because I love the King of Swords. Common sense. He makes good decisions. He can be stubborn. So yeah, he needs to temper his intellect with some guidance from the heart. But he's going to get stuff done. He's a good one to have at hand. Now we have the Ace of Wands here, holding the bone again. I'm going to try to go quicker. I know that this is going to get long. Here we have the Two of Wands. See, he is, so this would normally be, yes, the Two of Wands. So we've got paths here, but it looks like we've got two different paths to go down. And two different ways to accomplish it almost. That's interesting. I can't wait to read through the guidebook. Here we have the Three of Wands. They're working together to break in and get the food. Four of Wands. So in the Wands, it appears that the zombies are winning here. We've got a celebration by the actual zombies. The Five of Wands, we have, again, the discord going on is between the zombies. They've actually gotten a hold of a guy, and they're fighting over his leg when he could be getting away. Oh my goodness. Six of Wands, the undead are victorious. It's official. Military retreat. So we have, again, that sense of recognition. The Seven of Wands. I don't know what's going on here because he looks like he's in a child's body, but oh, I can't breathe. It's hilarious. Challenges, competition, persistence. You're holding your ground against advancing horde and standing up for your own ideas. You've earned this meal and you should defend it from anyone who might steal it. Yeah, definitely the wands seem to be from the perspective of the zombies. Here we have the Eight of Wands for travel, expansion, being on the move. Oh, the Nine of Wands, completion of tasks, willpower. You're the gift that keeps on giving. Your steadfast devotion, obsession to completing a task does credit to the zombie mantra, brains. It has it spelled out like that going on. While you may be weary at the end of the day, your satisfaction comes from doing a job well done and sucking the eyeballs off your fingertips. Here we have the Ten of Wands for burdens and responsibilities. He's got all this stuff he's trying to carry, and he's got decomposing body parts. So this is some work. He's got to keep putting one foot forward. The gross Page of Wands is a youthful zombie. This little charmer doesn't let a little thing like being confined to a high chair hold him back. Oh no. I just love that. My mom had this high chair like this for the longest time. I wish she still had it because I just loved it. It was so old. You know, it was exactly like this, but I think it was like a beige color, you know, in the seating and stuff. They just don't make them like they used to. Here we have the Knight of Wands. He's not letting a little thing like not having legs stop him, is he? The Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. So obviously the wand suit is quite victorious for the zombies. Here we have the Ace of Hazards, which would be the Pentacle suit, and we have the idea of wealth showing on her decomposing hand. We have the Two of Hazards, so again, we have somebody like a testing scientist kind of person with his zombie. I'm thinking this isn't going to go as well for the zombies in this suit. They've actually kind of trained a zombie. Oh, no. Four of Hazards, getting all of his stuff together, everything that he needs. But he does have his fingers in his ears. So we do have that sense of kind of being in a secure place. But we have both the idea of greediness, because we can see other people banging on the door and he's not going to help them. But we also, with the fingers in the ear, can just talk about, you know, you can be stagnant. You've got to be aware. You've got to keep your ears open. So, you know, being secure is a good thing, but you don't want to go stagnant. I love it. That's awesome. Here we have the, I know I have to keep moving. Here we have the 5 of Hazards, which would be the 5 of Pentacles. The 6. This, I think they show this actually at the end of Shaun of the Dead, where they have them like harnessed to shopping carts and things like that. And yeah, in the back, you know, I want to even say it might be on a mower, but that idea of actually using the zombies to you know, to work for us. So this is about gifts coming your way, but being wary of strings being attached. Here we have the 7 of Hazards, patience, gain, and progress. So he's obviously trying to work at re-stimulating this person's brain. So things are improving. Your persistence is going to pay off. You just got to stay with it. The 8 of Hazards, we have invention and ingenuity and having a new approach. Thinking outside of the pressurized expansion tank. Don't return to the same tactics over and over again. You need to put your talents to better use. I just love this. Here we have prosperity. People now have the zombies under control. This is very much reminiscent of the end of Shaun of the Dead. I love it. Even here, we've got the zombies, the happy family, the wealth. The zombies are taking care of them. Oh my goodness. Here's the Page of Hazards, responsibility. The Knight of Hazards is in a car that he is handcuffed to. He's a real go-getter. Oh my goodness. Here we have the Queen of Hazards. Tough as nails on the outside. The Queen of Hazards is gooey as gumdrops when nobody's paying attention because she's rotting. Here we have the King of Hazards, who is steady and reliable and slightly boring because he's got the caution tape. He's got everything. He's not really putting this zombie to any good use. He's got him all chained up when he could be using him in some way. I can't stand it. Okay, I know. I gotta hurry. Ace of Cups. I think it's fantastic. Here we have the 2 of Cups. So we have, you know, we gotta make compromises. She's having her meal. He's having his meal. We don't need to have judgment. The 3 of Cups. Celebration. Why not? So this is obviously a relationship suit. We have the 4 of Cups. She's feeling a little bored in this relationship. She might need to go out and get herself a little zombie lover. Here we have the 5 of Cups, sadness. Obviously her husband has died. We can kind of see him. He's not really dead. He's watching over them. But they have loss and sadness and grief. The 6 of Cups. Oh no, and he's lost his hand. Nostalgia. I was thinking for that one. 7 of Cups. We have choices, considerations, so many things that she has to think about. Who is she going to eat? What brain is she going to eat next? There's also a, I think it's called iZombie on television series, which is actually quite cute. It's definitely cheesy. It's not like a, whoa, this is absolutely fantastic, but I quite like it. And she eats zombie brains, and then she, gains some of their personality and some of their memories and tries to help solve how they were killed. And this definitely reminds me of that. Here we have the 8 of Cups. Moving on. Time to exit this area. This is actually quite beautiful. 9 of Cups. Wishes, daydreams. She's just wishing for that sunny beach where there's no zombies. The 10 of Cups is somebody who has actually gone onto that beach, right? So this one is dreaming. Here she's dreaming of it. Here she's actually got that peace and contentment and family. Well, we gotta have all these zombie kids for the pages. It's got a little brain in his sand bucket. Oh no. The Knight of Cups, romantic, adventurous, and daring despite his lack of healthy skin. The Queen of Cups, eating the heart. And the King of Cups, he is nautical and under the water. Empathy, diplomatic, and generous. He's always ready to lend an ear. He might actually hand it to you. So there we have the absolutely fantastic, I'm so glad I picked this up, Zombie Tarot. I will definitely be blacking this side because even if it spreads somewhat onto the front, it doesn't matter. It's the Zombie Tarot. It doesn't have to be perfectly clean. Sorry, work calls today. But as I was saying, I'm actually not, so this pad is a little messed up where I have my Bohemian Gothic Tarot to do black, but I'm not going to do that until I get a new pad because it's kind of, because it's all, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but because it's all thready, it makes a little bit of a messier. The last time I thought, okay, this one's done. But with this one, I actually don't mind if it, I actually want it to get a little bit messy because I think it will look cool with just the way that it's set up. This is zombies. These aren't supposed to be perfectly clean. So I'm actually wanting it to be a little messy. So I'm glad I didn't. I thought I threw it out, but I actually hadn't thrown it out yet. And so I'm quite glad I didn't. People always ask how I do this. This is a distressed ink. Of course, I don't have the lid with me. It's the Jim Holtz Distressed Ink in Soot. And so I just rub it a couple times, go around, rub it, you know, kind of flip it over. Get me, the corners are the ones you tend to have to watch for. So you just kind of go around, make sure you got it all, and then I lay it down to dry for a little while. However, what will probably happen when I stack these is that that's when you get a little smudging on the sides if it's not entirely dry when you stack them. Because this isn't, you know, super clean and it's kind of going up over the edges, and that's actually something that I want. Okay, I'm back. And I have finished doing the deck and set it outside with the wind so it would dry. I wanted this not to be super clean, which I usually am working very hard to make it clean. So I didn't rub in as many times as I normally did. And I also, once I had the deck, I stacked them fairly early because I wanted the smudging to show up on the front. Can you see that? I wanted some of that smudging to come to the front. I also, once it was, while it was still wet, I took a paper towel and kind of smudged along it. And I also took a Q-tip and kind of smudged because that kind of pushed things in between a little bit while it was wet. So I did that. And then again, I kind of wiped while it was still damp, because I wanted it to look kind of used, and this has, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's not perfectly, you know, I normally work really hard so everything is perfectly black, and it's not. It definitely looks worn a little bit, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's like I said, I don't know. Yeah, I can probably shuffle these because I don't mind if it does smudge onto the front. I can probably give these a shuffle. Let's just see what happens. I should really let these, let's see. Yeah, see these? See how the fronts are? Oh, I love that. So that, again, generally when this happens, I would cry, and I work very hard for this not to happen, but I really wanted these to be smudged on the front of this. Now, I do need to still let these dry a little bit more before I can, you know, really work with these without the front smudging, but that is exactly what I have wanted this front of this deck to be. Let's look at that. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to leave these for a little bit longer though to dry, and then I will come back. Okay, I am back. These have sat outside for a while because it's a nice breezy day. Just kind of trying to get it to dry faster. Generally, I wouldn't, once I do a deck like this, I would not shuffle them for overnight, because generally I do these, when I do edge decks, it's usually at night, and I wouldn't go and shuffle it until the next day. However, A, I let it outside, and B, well, now some of that you can see on my arm, that is actually from earlier. Let's go up higher on my arm. You can see that it's already not smudging off. However, some of the face stuff will still smudge. But look at this. I hope that you can see the smudging and sort of the dirty look. I've actually gone over this a couple times. I went through, like I said, with the, and showed you with scraping the edges. And then I just went through and kind of did this to each card, which kind of smeared it and dirtified it. And so I'm just thrilled with how these look. This is exactly, again, I would not be thrilled with this if this was any other deck, but this was the exact look that I was going for. Is I wanted it to look used and a little dirty and a little, because it's already got that aged newsprint look to it. So this is exactly the look that I was going for. And the sides, if you can see, which I truthfully don't know if it's picking up. I wonder if I put these. Yes, look at this. Here is the Rackham Oracle, which is done very carefully and very thickly on. And then here is the Zombie Tarot. So I think you can kind of see the difference there. And it's exactly what I was going for. So I'm so excited that that turned out as I wanted it to. Let's do the Tombstone, because this is a Zombie Tarot, right? We have to do these ones that are awesome. Wait until Halloween next October. I'll definitely be pulling these babies out. I would say for the most part, what it seems, obviously I'll have to come back and give you an update as I often do, but I have to say that these seem to read quite Rider-Waite-Smith. There may be some slight fun deviations, a little bit of tongue-in-cheek obviously, or tongue in somebody else's throat because they just bit it off, but I will say it seems to read pretty Rider-Waite. So with this, we're going to build a tombstone. Let's see, 1, 2, leave a little room for the tomb to come up, 3, 4, how appropriate for the death to come up on a tombstone, 5, and 6. So this is our tombstone. We'll just slide these right in the middle because why not? And so let's see, so number 1, which is this card, represents a central question in my life. So we have the 2 of Wands here. This is actually quite appropriate for me. I'm just, again, using this opportunity to make sure, you know, see how it is. Choices, crossroads, decisions. Definitely, I have a lot of decisions, and it's in the creativity and, you know, following our passion kind of suit, because I'm definitely making a lot of business decisions. January is all about like trying to get things set. I need to nail things down in terms of some new readings, pricings, classes, Lenormand classes, all that kind of stuff. I have had a lot of decisions to make, so this is a good apt card to show up in that position. The second card represents unforeseen forces that are on this, and we have the Knight of Swords, and this is that intellectual thing, right? And this is acting on this question. This I can see in 2 ways. A, you know, it's a good thing in terms of forward motion and also in the mind, so really trying to be logical about things and making sure I'm doing things in the correct way way and how I should do it. But on the other sense, it can also go a little bit in shadow, because it's kind of acting on it. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be in shadow or not, but there's a little bit of that where that can go too far, where I might be almost getting stuck, because although this would, I think, wouldn't be the swords, but that I can think things over too much and I don't get a lot done. So I'm kind of spinning my wheels, so to speak, which he looks like he's doing in the tank, because it's caught up on a bunch of bodies. And so that also is apt for the situation, because I often do overthink things, and so then I do start spinning my wheels and I don't actually accomplish anything. So that's can work, I think, either way. The third card represents how other people affect me. Death. Well, I think that this card is about transformation, even more than many death cards, because we literally have a person transforming into something else entirely, a semblance of what it was, but it is changed. I love... you know, we even see how we have the house here with the graveyard on the other side. So this is actually a really cool card, I think, because it does speak to transformation. So I think that that works too, because, you know, I am in this process of doing things, and it is a feedback of energies from what I'm getting from clients and things like that, and knowing. And so the effect that, you know, in terms of building the truth and story have, other people have on that, is inspiring me towards transformation, to always be growing, to always be changing, to always be moving forward. One thing ends, another thing starts, you know, always thinking ahead in terms of how can I transform this further and further. And that is inspired by other people. So that would work. Again, I'm just like quickly, I don't know how much, or even if I'm going to have time to put this in here, so I'm trying to be fast with it. Here we have my lovely King of Swords showing up. This represents somebody who's available to help me, and this is a no-brainer. There is a person who does actually really help me in terms of making decisions, not making the decisions, but is very good at inputting logic and business kind of sense into things, and that person is the King of Swords, period. And so that's hilarious that that shows up there. Number 5. Oh, no, I'm wrong. This is circumstances affecting my life, the King of Swords. But I'm assuming as relates to this, which kind of goes back to what I was saying in shadow here, there is that sense of, and that also, he does affect my life. So that works. It works both ways. One way is personal, and so I won't be going into it. And another way is certainly, again, that sense of, this isn't a who, I don't think. This is the things that are affecting my life. So this isn't really a who, whereas this is a who. Or what. So I guess it can go either way. Because this one is help. This is affecting it. So this, I think, is both. This is still that same person that I'm talking, definitely has an impact on my decision, in a positive way, actually, on helping me kind of, you know, all right, enough, you know, thinking too, even though he's swordsy, and there's enough of that. Okay, now, you know, let's get down to the nitty gritty. So that's both that, and it also does affect the fact that I am sometimes too much in my head, and that does affect things. So both of these kind of, to me, reiterate that fact that I need to, yes, do all this is what I tell clients all the time. Yes, do all the mental things that need to be done, but there's a certain point in which that starts to be a block, especially to creative kinds of things, that we need to, okay, do all the legwork, come to the logical conclusions, and then, okay, let's now keep moving forward. Don't get stuck in the brain. And I have that as a massive problem for me. So having those both show up, I think, in various ways, speak to that. Then we have the Six of Wands, as in somebody or something that is available to help me. And the Six of Wands is about victory and success. So I would say that that's a what. You know, I don't know that that would necessarily be a who. It doesn't trigger any who ideas, but it does have that sense of, you know, because I'm wrapping up my first year. February next week is technically going to be my 1-year anniversary for the Truth in Story. And I'm really happy with how things have gone for its first year. I really do feel like it was a successful first year. And I'm not even talking about in terms of money or anything, because of course in the beginning that's not gonna, I couldn't do this as my primary living. But I just think all in all, in terms of taking it from nothing to what it is now, I'm really happy with how things are. So I think that does also encourage me as I'm having to make these decisions going into the second year. That does help me and support me and, you know, give me confidence as I'm moving into the second year. So I think that works also there. In 6, we have the outcome to, you know, this decision making that I have to do. And we have the 8 of Hazards, which is expansion. This is the 8 of Wands. This is the 8 of Hazards. Again, I've said it 20 times, but when I first start to do things like this, I do like to just sort of check in with the booklet and see, are we on target? That way I can answer the question, does it seem right? And I actually do think it does. And so the outcome is to have some invention, have ingenuity, which is what this is kind of talking about, right? The 2 of Wands is about making decisions and choices. And so the choices and decisions I need to make need to be innovative, need to be is taking new approaches, always like growing, always trying new things. So I think this actually is a great card for there. So I know that was like a Speedy Gonzalez one, but I really wanted to fit it in. So there we have it. This has been well, in case that one didn't work out, there we have it. We now have taken a look at the Zombie Tarot, and I didn't even say at the beginning, I was so excited about it. Who is this? It doesn't even have like a person. Let's see. Instructions by Stacey Graham and cards illustration by Paul Keppel and Ralph Gironi of Headcase Designs. And this is by Quirk Books out of Philadelphia. The packaging is amazing. The box, the guidebook, the cards. I think it's all well worth. Even if I had paid $17, which is the retail price for this, I would have been happy with it. Having paid $12, I'm exceedingly happy with it. So yeah, this is a huge win for me, and it's very tongue-in-cheek, yet from what I can see, it stays pretty close to traditional meanings, and I think it can actually read quite well. Although you'd have to be careful, I guess, of who you pull out a zombie tarot to read for, just in terms of professional readings. But be that as it may, yeah, tons of fun. Thanks for sticking with me on this quite fun little walkthrough.